it's Alicia with Ali.plans.cuteness, and today I wanted to show you how to make these really cute little treat bags. I'm being extra cautious because this isn't fully dry, but you can see they fit like one of these little Reese's pumpkins, and what a fun little way to give treats. Today I am going to show you how I made this. But I'm going to be using these adorable little stickers from the Little Bits box. These are some of her characters, but just very cute. You can see I used one for this first box. They're just the perfect size. And then there's these ones. And these. So I think I'm going to stick mostly with these guys, but we'll see. There was a little hocus pocus. You can see I added that as well. So let's get started. So I already kind of prepared a lot of the pieces to make this go a little bit faster, so you wouldn't have to just sit and watch. So I used a die to cut out this bag shape, but again, if you don't have a die for this, this is pretty easy. I don't remember where I got this from. I need to start being more careful about labeling my dies, because I just take them out of the package and put them on a magnetic sheet and forget where they came from. But I like this, right, because it has this little fringe on top and these little holes to put the strings that I put in here. But you could honestly make this pretty easily with just scissors and a scoreboard. So you could just, you know, cut a big rectangle, score some lines for, you don't even need these little like fold lines. And you certainly could just do a straight rectangle, a straight square bag. And then if you wanted to fringe it, I mean, you could just use a little hole punch to punch the holes and then cut your flaps. So this is pretty easy to make without a die. It's just even easier with the die, and so that's why I used that. And I purposely used double-sided paper. So I picked paper that would go with this. The outside obviously matches the best, but the inside kind of complements, and so I wanted that because I want this to be cute. Like when you take out your candies, you are going to see the inside, and so I wanted something cute inside as well. Again, you could just use regular single-sided paper, but I think this is a great opportunity to use that double-sided paper. So I'm just going to glue it. These come together super quick. So again, whether you are using a die or just cutting and scoring, you just glue in the tab and the bottom. Just put a line there, and I just get a little glue on my fingers, that's fine. And boom, and I just put it down, and I'll grab like my bone folder just to kind of push it down from the inside. And there we go. Still not fully dry, but dry enough. And again, if you have you want to make the little creases, you certainly could. You don't even really need the triangle down there. You could just partially score it, but I did. And then now let's decorate. So to decorate, again, I want the key feature to be one of these. I think for this one, maybe this bat. She is super cute. And then I just pre-cut a few little papers. Again, I had some random dies for like bows or webs. So you could use something like that. You can see on here I put this little web in the background, and then I also used that little sticker, was also from the Little Bit sticker sheet. So we could use, let's see. That's very cute. I like that. Okay, and then I want to put this one on. I wonder if a smaller one might almost be better. So I think I'm going to pop her up on some foam tape. So let's give her a little piece of, just have like a roll of foam tape. And I'm going to put her on that. And the foam tape is, I cut it about the height. I'm not too worried about the extra tiny little sticky bits. You could always kind of take some powder or something to wrap around it. But for this, there's so little sticking out. And as much as I would love for my coworkers to keep this forever, I suspect these are not going to last for very long. And so I'm not going to invest a ton of time into it. So I tried to use resources that I had that were really cute, but that I wouldn't be devastated if someone was like, yep, thanks, that candy's cute, and toss the bag directly into the trash, which, you know, hopefully they won't, but I am a realist. So yeah, so I'm going to put her on there. So yeah, there's some little extra sticky. You could do something with that, but I think it's going to be fine. I like that. I think she's very cute there. All right, so I'm going to I'm going to glue this guy down. I'm not putting glue, sorry, you can't see that, all the way to the edge, because I don't know exactly how far out this goes, but obviously this sticks out beyond the edge of the little bag. I'm gonna go with that. I don't know why I want words on there so much, but I do. So we're gonna go with like this, and boom. Okay, there we go. Very cute. And let's see. Lost my cap. I always like a little bit of shine or sparkle, so I think I'm gonna take these Nuvo drops and maybe just, sometimes these ones I really like, for the cheeks. And this is why, important lesson with Nuvo drops, it's always good to test them on a side piece of paper first, because sometimes they spit a little bit, like they just did on her. But the good news is these ones especially, I like these, the Dream Drops for cheeks, because they're pretty forgiving, because once they dry, they're kind of clearish iridescent, and so if they're not quite perfect, it's not terrible. And then maybe let's do, let's put some of this crystal glaze on the October to make that pop out. That one also gets air bubbles, so I should do it somewhere else first. And this one, I found that the crystal glaze is hard to get super like fine lines, so usually if I'm doing something like this, I just kind of cover the area. Hopefully it looks like that whole thing was kind of a 3D sticker. And I'm going to do the same thing to the little bat. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just kind of push it out towards the edge of the lines. And there we go. It just adds a little bit of pop to those to make them stand out. And I think that's good. Let's see. Do we want a third bat? Yes, I do. I do want a third bat. I did not ever attend any kind of art school, but I know there is sort of the rule of threes. Trying to put 3 things is supposed to be more visually appealing. I definitely think that balances it out a little bit. It's a little busy, but that's okay. It's just supposed to be kind of cute and fun. So there we go. So there's that one. And then I'll show you how I did the strings on this in just a second. But I'm going to let this dry a little bit. It won't fully dry, but we're going to give it a second to dry. And let's do one more. Alright, so for these guys, I wasn't gonna put them on a bow, but I might just because they do stick out, and I don't really want the sticky out over the edge because I think that might make it catch or pull off. So we will do another bow for this guy. Alrighty, now let's see, what should we embellish with? So again, I've got some cute little things, but this might be a fun place for little ghosts because it says boo. glitter the boo? Or do we want to glitter the accessories? Let's glitter the little accessories. So I'm going to take some Nuvo drops and just put a smidge of glitter. I think the last thing I'm going to do is for these little spiders, I have a glaze pen. And so these glaze pens are cool because they write just a smidge in 3D. It's not super, you're not going to get a big bump. It's not like the Nuvo drops or anything like that. But they do leave a little bit of a 3D layer behind and a little bit of shine, and it's just enough to draw some attention to it. And so I like that for really little black spots, because the Nuvo drops, I can never get it right on little spots, and then the black definitely smears everywhere. And that's not what you want. So, alrighty, I think this one's done. I think that's very cute. I like it. Alright, so we've got this one. So I'm going to go back to this one. It's still very much not dry, but I do want to show you how I put these strings on. And of course, there's lots of ways you can do that. It's not super complicated, but I don't like to have lots of little knots to tie. They annoy me. So here is what I do, and maybe it will be helpful. So first, for the end, I always take just a little random piece of Scotch tape and wrap it around, and it doesn't curl up perfect, right? So at first it might seem like it's not very helpful because it's kind of fat, but what the Scotch tape will do is it'll let you kind of twist it up at the end so that it becomes a much finer point, so you don't have to worry about all those little fraying pieces. So it's like when you have strings, that little plastic bit. So what I do is I pull in from the inside of one of the holes, and it doesn't really matter where you start. And doing this is going to make this like crisscross on the top. So if you don't want them to crisscross, they, open really easy, so it doesn't block anything. But if you don't like that crisscross, obviously you're going to want to do it differently. But if you like that, or if you don't care, so I go from the inside out, and then I go to the opposite corner, and I go from the outside in. There's my little taped end there. And at the beginning, I just kind of string it. Right now, I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to get the string all in that crystal glaze. But I go from the outside in, and then you go across the inside of that back. So I go out the corner on the same side, like that. And so you'll get that little line across the back. And then you can pull more if you need more. It doesn't have to be exact. You can just cut it later. It's fine. And then I go back across to the opposite corner and go back from the outside in. And I usually don't cut it off of my spool right away, because then I can kind of judge and cut. You could, if you find that easier to work with. For me, it doesn't make a big difference. And that's why I don't mind really long tails, because I can adjust it back. And then I just double knot. behind the tape. And then I just snip off this end here with the tape. And there we go. If you were worried about this potentially unraveling, sometimes I'll take just a little dab of glue and put it on there, so then that way it should hold it so it won't unravel. It's probably fine, but that's something I do tend to do. And then you just kind of adjust, right? You can kind of see, you can play with it, see how long. By pulling on the strings, you can even them out a little bit. Oop, wrong way. So there we go, just about like that is good for me. And so once you've got it kind of where you want it, then I trim it off. And I trim extra just to make it easier to tie, but you could do, again, if you wanted to be a little bit more conservative with it, you could cut closer. And then I do pull it through, just again to make it easier, so I have more to work with, because I'm just going to pull it back out once I'm done. So another little double knot. On the end there. If it's too long, you can again always trim off some of your extra. And there you go. And you can kind of slide it and adjust it, and then you've got your handles and your cute little basket. So we have 3 of them now. We have this one, and again, to put in the candy, just open the little handles, tuck in your candy, and you have a cute little treat bag, which I think is very fun. So we have this one. We made this one. I haven't put the handles on yet. I'm gonna let that dry for a second. And this one. So hopefully that gave you some ideas. What I love about this is that you can just take, you know, if you have any cute stickers, again, these come from the Little Bits box. And so I think these are super cute. These are just like individual, these 2 are individual sticker sheets. This came as a part of a kit. I don't know which of these are still available. I think these 2 are, but I'm not totally sure. I don't know if this one is. And again, this one was part of a bigger kit that has, you know, multiple sheets. So that's just the deco sheet that I pulled. But again, hopefully this gives you some ideas if you want to do some kind of fun little crafts that you can give to your neighbors or your friends or your coworkers. They really don't take that much time to make. They don't take that many supplies. I obviously put little extras on, but you could even, you know, minimize the little bling if you were not into all of that. And you've got something fun. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, and I will see you next time. Bye. Happy crafting.